Hi guys, my name is Winnie. I'm a recent Northeastern graduate and one of the co-founders of a food Instagram account, fānqíe. And today I will be making a Chinese dish called tomato and egg, or in Chinese it's fānqíe chǎo鸡蛋, which means pretty much tomato stir-fried with egg. It's probably the most popular dish in China and something I grew up eating, so it's very, very special to me. So I'm really excited to share it with you all today. So I'll start by breaking 4 eggs and whisking them together. And I actually really like to use chopsticks for this part. And it's something that I learned from my parents growing up, that chopsticks were just like a great tool for everything. So we'll do 4 eggs total today. And there's a lot of different styles of making this. I think every Chinese family has like a slightly different recipe. Yeah, medium heat is usually good. All right. So yeah, there's a little bit of sizzle, that's great. So even when it's still a little bit yolky, you can turn off the heat and set it aside because the residual heat will keep the eggs cooking. Any tomatoes will do because we'll be adding a little bit of salt to this sauce, and the salt will draw out that water. Drop in the tomatoes, and I like to put like the flat side, or try to get the flat side down to release those juices. Sprinkle some salt because it will draw out the juices and season the tomatoes. When I was younger, I would cook a lot with my grandmas at home since they came to live with my family. And I saw a lot of Chinese cooking being done, like making buns or steamed buns, dumplings, this dish, and a lot of other like Chinese stir-fried dishes. And then I would say I got to college, and freshman year, of course, we're in our tiny dorms. I was just down the hall in Smith Hall, and we didn't have kitchens. So I actually gained an interest in cooking then when I was actually here for my nutrition class in the exhibition kitchen and learning about cooking and how to make like easy meals for college students. So all of these exposures have definitely like influenced my love for cooking. And then that brought me to starting the Instagram account, fānqíe, at the beginning of the pandemic. And we've even used it for some advocacy last year during Black Lives Matter movement, and then when a lot of like Asian hate movements happened, we were able to raise money and like use and engage our community, which has been very rewarding, I would say. I like ketchup. This is something my grandmas actually did when I was younger, and I always thought it was weird because ketchup is a very American ingredient. But they would add some ketchup because it contains sugar and it also has some vinegar, so it adds that acidity and flavor. And then I'll add a little bit of soy sauce. Okay. All right, so I'll give that one more mix, and it should come together pretty well. And it's okay if you still have the chunks of tomatoes, like they're not gonna break down completely, but they'll just soften. And I can already smell it, so hopefully it's well seasoned. As I give that like one more minute, I'm just going to chop some scallions, and I will mix the eggs back in. So mix it in and break it into pieces. And you want the eggs to really soak up the sauce. So yeah, the pieces of egg, we have different sizes, and they have soaked up the sauce. And I'll just do a little garnish. All right, and that's the dish, tomato and egg. Super simple, comes together in less than 10 minutes. And it's really yummy, so give it a try. Tastes like home.